Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm Part 50. Feeling cute? Might conjecture. Don't have much great to say today, but just want to keep talking through the logic. I've been doing a lot of trivial derivations, and again, like when I say I derive things to the sound and to the syllables, I literally mean 1,000 theorems about this letter over here, or 1,000 theorems about this syllable over here. And it's not insightful, it doesn't mean anything, I'm literally just accumulating data. Right? I'm a scientist. Get my empirical evidence, my language, and see what I can come up with. We'll be doing some daily derivation. I'll read you the theorems that matter that I derived like a couple hours ago. A small extension to our Fogget with no Boget's proof. We'll talk about Earth from an alien perspective. And then we'll talk about some current scientist arguments and just discussion, again, all public stuff online, about UFOs, about the scientific method, about intelligence jumps, about intolerance, about bullying. Not like individual bullying, but like scientific bullying and like peer review, stuff like that. So for the daily derivation, I just not much up on the board if you're just listening, but I just have Brad, what question are you trying to ask? I'm trying to develop a novel math proof. I'm trying to show why sensorality with an S, defined as life, how is that, the form of that word already integrated into our diction, and how do I show, right, vibration, vibrate, two forms of the same, different noun, verb. How do I show iteration as a mathematical operator with a word with less syllables, with some other just slang words, or some other form of iteration? That's really what I'm trying to do, to formalize iteration as a mathematical operator, and then show sensorality, the linguistics, the vocabulary that I introduced is just the backing, the proofing, the foundation of words people already say. That is what I'm trying to do. A prime number is an uniterated number. Uniterated is prime. Prime is the base of composite, right? All composite numbers get factored, so prime is the base of composite. Brad, what are you trying to do? What's the difference between prime and composite? Why do we care about prime? Why composite numbers are iteration? Uniterated is non-compositional. If it's not iterated, if it's not composed of anything, it hasn't been done again. To compose is to arrange. Ordinality arranges. How does syllability produce or not produce rhyme? Eric Weinstein says if it's rhymes, it's wrong. Logically, totally agree, great statement. How does syllability, the structure of a syllable, differentiate logic? Don't know. How do we figure that out? Brad, what are you doing? What are you trying to say? A definition is a relation of words. Right? We've talked about resolution and relation, but a definition is a relation of words. I would call that the fundamental theorem of linguistics. Base is prime. Prime is foundational. Sound bases language. Base, basic, basis. Brad, why does the ontology of mathematics say basis, but clearly linguistically that's the letter B, the number, the second letter of the alphabet, and then the word as is. Basic and base are complete words. So we've rigorously talked about why we say base, one syllable, range, one syllable. What else can I say? Composition arranges. If you have an arrangement, you have a composition. Positional, compositional. To posit is to think. To think is to conjecture. It, in. Compositional is iterational. So, again, really trying to figure out what single sentence statement can I make about iteration with the concept of basis and range being limited with our counting about 7, 10 objects, 2 of the same, 8 elements, 7 elements, 1 mathematical operator. What does that say about iteration? How does numbers relate to iteration? What is the iteration limit? What is the iteration base? And again, this is a demonstration we're talking about until, like I said, I literally do this all day. The amount of logic that I can't write it down unless I could live stream derivation. I could absolutely do that. People watch people playing music online. I could derive mathematics like, and I want to, and like as a normal day. But that's what I got there. Now we'll talk about, again, just why do we care about prime numbers? Why do we care about basis and range? Base and range, excuse me. Why do I keep saying basis? Why does mathematical ontology say basis? How does the fundamental stability of 2, and we said that basis has 2 syllables, base has 1, but because of the universal progression of the universe, it has to be a one-way unique progression. The iteration has to be uniquely progressive. And how do we take those numbers and pair that to a physical observation? And again, pick up any object, you'll see 3 iterations of the shadow, which makes me ask the question, how does that relate to Fermat's last theorem? Or forget that, how does that relate to modular forms? Do we count from that, do we count the base or do we not count the base? Simple, direct question, I'm thinking we don't count the base. There's 1 base and there's 2 iterations. 1, 2, many iterations. Now we'll talk about the other stuff. So and again, I don't pick the right answers, right? In language, I just observe them. A fogget with no boget. A fogget is not a word in any language, but clearly modifying faggot. A faggot with no baguettes is a bundle of sticks with no sticks, so that's nothing. But if someone came up to you and said, hey dude, you're a faggot, they mean you're gay, right? Is gay happy or homosexual? So if a faggot, a bundle of sticks, is gay, can a bundle of sticks have happiness or sexuality? No. So are faggots gay? Doesn't even make any literal logical sense. Again, I didn't pick the answers, a random slang iteration extension. But how about Earth from an alien perspective? Alright, passed to it, literally, again, 3 days ago I showed you how to literally contact aliens. Not too important for any global anything, obviously. G7 leaders, open your mouth, mumble words, make syllables. It is what it is. Have a nice day. But, right, how many galaxies are there? We don't know. How many approximate galaxies are there in the known universe? Hundreds of billions, if not trillions. So you're talking about civilization, life, billions of times over. Billions of independent civilizations. So an alien from Earth from the alien's perspective. The fact that we're sitting here saying that there might not be aliens out there. Tremendous arrogance. Tremendous scientific incompetence. But an alien perspective is going to come from a civilization where they've known about life in its entirety for thousands of years, millions of years, billions of years. And so, right, you like to watch your dog, it's cute to watch them learn and grow up and think and learn, right? The observation is not babysitting, because why wouldn't somebody interfere? Because life evolution is genuinely unique and it'd be fucking up life. So that's why UFOs wouldn't interact to say, here's technology, right? Progression is slow. And they would have known about it from every other civilization, billions of them. So, alien from an Earth perspective, would they want to interfere, interact? Like, if I go break the law, I go to jail today. If an alien civilization goes fucks with an undeveloped, growing, evolving species or society, that's the most violating thing possible. So that's big fuck no, scientifically. Like I said, they'd be less violent for sure. I mean, probably not potential to be violent. Technology, not even close. We'll talk about the current scientists, UFOs, intelligence jumps, intolerance, and bullying. And again, scientifically, the example, I wanted to put this in a language episode, but intolerance and bullying. Again, just to show you how intolerance develops, right? We have LGBT, it's Pride Month. QI+++. In the context of genetic variation, I'm the plus 70 million, right? Doesn't affect my sexuality, but genetically, am I genetically different? I can viscerally prove theorems. I can show you where your individual analogies come from. from the society for real as fuck, from anybody, not even a difficult thing to do. But there has to be genetic variation to that. LGBTQ+++++. And then, on Reddit, I don't know, 6 months ago, I saw a saying that said, LGB, hold the T. Right? Lesbians, gay, bi, and trans from their community. Right? I don't associate with groups, everyone's fucking retarded. I have a very low value of human life. Oh, oops. But the T, the trans, that was the weird one. To lesbians, and to gays, and to bis. So, if you're a transgender, you could be, all intended purposes, straight. Right? If you were born a male and you want to be a female, and you have your surgeries, again, I don't know about the surgeries, can you actually reproduce post-transitioning? But if you could, that's more straight than being an actual homosexual. No? Yes. And so, to see, right, this is how intolerance generates. You have a group of people that have 100%, right, I support all types of people, go, I don't care who you fuck, I don't care what you do with your genitals, go be a decent person. But you see, right, a group, gays, lesbians, and bis, saying, you know, we haven't been supported, we've been dehumanized, our rights have been violated, we've been treated like shit. Now we have some rights, now we have some goals, and now they turn around and do it to the next thing. And so an intelligence jumps, right? I'm this plus guy. That's how I am making science videos, and I went to school for science, and I did science, and I got ostracized by scientists. And not even ostracized, you have to, the intelligence jumps, there's, this guy makes me mad, he's fucking stupid. And then there's, this guy's genuinely just fucking stupid. When I went to OSU and MSU, people, they said, when you interact with me, you know I'm intelligent, but you don't see how that develops a proof. And then I can list theorems faster than I can breathe. So I'm going to take you through, that's just what I wanted to say for Earth from an alien perspective and about intolerance and bullying on like a global scientific level. And transgender absolutely could be more normal or more straight, and again, straight's not right, but LGBT saying hold the T is the most like intolerant shit transference of negligence possible. So let's talk about some of the current scientists' opinions and just conversations about UFOs, the scientific method, math, science, peer review, stuff like that. And just to be clear on the LGBT stuff, the only reason the biologically correctness is being able to reproduce. Nothing more, nothing less. So now, I just want to pull up Eric Weinstein's Twitter. Full disclosure, I genuinely think Eric Weinstein is a decent, approachable mathematician today, but a genuine fucking weirdo. And was a genuine fucking weirdo. Sean Carroll, I think he was a good scientist. I think he's a little pussy, a little weirdo, but not super weird. Eric Weinstein gets the weird award for me. But Sean Carroll understands physics. Eric Weinstein understands math. But again, let me just read you his tweets and just thoughts on science and stuff. Sorry, I should have had this loaded up before I started my camera in like 5 seconds again. Keeps talking about aliens. Here we go. Dear Michael Shermer, thanks for this. Very sober. I myself, don't be sober, fuck that shit. I myself also don't find the authenticated videos so far released compelling. So, and he has a poll up here. What the 4 things he thinks UFOs could be. Birds or camera malfunctions. That shit is scientifically illiterate, right? You ban scientists for spreading false information. That's false information flatly today. Spy ops from the US government. The government has said it's not US materials, so if it was, that's bigger treason. So that's very good. The great mathematician guy. 3, it's aliens to our nation, which was the highest one voted, and 4 was like another country or whatever. So that's kind of like what this conversation's starting. I don't find the authenticated videos so far released compelling, but I do find your challenge of no isolated, discontinuous innovation quite interesting. which was I talked about extensively in my proof last video. Might I propose a friendly debate amongst friendly skeptics? I am not a friendly fucking scientist. If you spread fraudulent information, I want you to fucking die. Facts. Not because I'm violent, because the society is actually fucking broken, and it needs to fucking change. And so, no need to be friendly in science. Nah. First of all, I am concerned with the paradigm of being scientifically or technologically centuries ahead is all wrong. Eric, you are fucking wrong. Shut your fucking mouth. This came up in a phone call with our buddy Sam Harris. Sam Harris is a fucking fraudulent scam artist peddling is this self an illusion? Is God, right, in the big French existentialist, God is dead. Yeah, like every other person that fucking lived. The reason you say spread God's word is because he was a linguist. Sensorality. Spread those words, faggots. How many centuries, and then he's talking about, again, just the development of the cell phone, development of the engine, 1950s to today. And it says, next challenge, does your line of reasoning prove that, this isn't a line of reasoning, guys. This is a proof. This is a math proof. Eric, your profile says math guy. This is a math proof. Do you get what a proof is? It's not a line of reasoning, it's a definitive scientific result. The medallion fund, otherwise long unbreached, not interesting. Not interesting. Next, there are two metrics on innovation. Metric 1, how big the incremental jump in difficulty. I drove the fundamental form of math, physics, all known science, reduced it into a mathematical proof, proved it syllable by syllable. There was not a higher incremental jump. Being born into a species with a broken sentiment, not even knowing you're doing mathematics for the first 25 years of your life and solving all of this shit, could not have been a more difficult problem. So this solution, as big of an incremental jump that could exist at the historical species, global, universal level. How big the jump was and what it unlocked. Can I build an engine? Can I build an engine right now today with no outside help? Can I Iron Man shit? If someone could, it would be me, maybe. But again, not without a trace. Not possible. Again, with the big question of what materials are being used. The physics, the dynamics, I could figure that shit out, yes. Could you implement that as a technology? No, not possible. There are really two metrics on innovation. I just read that one. Can't exist. And then he's talking, here's the scientists. Sir, you to me, arguing powerfully that certain people can't exist. Rodney Mullen, Edward Von Halen, Bob Beeman, Dick Fosbury, Hiroji Sato, Satoshi Nakamoto. Only name I recognize is the Bitcoin one. They all exhibited that little unlocks a lot paradigm with zero-day exploits that were each decisive. So do I consider Bitcoin a big technological innovation. Don't know who these other people are. But again, a currency or innovation versus an engine, again, not even in the same ballgame by millenniums. It's not physics exactly, but Ed Witten, with the support of a small number of folks, rewrote quantum field theory as geometry. I have derived all of the geometries. I have emailed Ed Witten 100 times a fucking day. If Einstein geometrized gravity, then Witten geometrized quantum field theory, everything else. Now all that changed so far has unlocked exactly nothing. Correct. How relevant is theoretical physics to engineering? Can engineers figure out principles without speaking one of the correct words? Yes, tremendously so. But it's not that nothing happened in physics. Blah, blah, blah. If you gave us E. Witten, James Simon, I. Singer, C. N. Yang, Michael Atiyah, goofy, spooky, fucking weirdo, announced a fucking proof of the Riemann before he died, not an intelligent person, D. Quinlan, G. Siegel, and a quiet program in 1975, I could argue that they didn't need much more. Again, I agree with the intellectual, not them, me, definitely not them, me, yes. Integrated as a technology, not possible. Now let me show you how I could get, right, I go search the wrong fucking material, I will get an FBI notice today. Now let me show you how I could get discontinuous innovation if I were China or Russia. I don't know those systems as well, so I'll use the US example. Not worth talking about. No, China is not in control of aliens technologies. No. Alright, I released such a theory. Could all be wrong. Yes, you were wrong, Eric. You don't have the position or more. GU. There was stuff about I don't want to really talk. There's nothing more to say about the aliens. He was talking about just like peer review. How relevant is peer review? Not at all. Again, not for me. This is a proof. In general, how about censorship? Right? Eric Weinstein is big on, why is YouTube censoring Brett Weinstein's this or that, or spreading fraudulent information? Eric, you are literally the system. You are not outside of the system. You are a part of a group of people who are willfully aware that scientific research is being restricted. You are the system. Shut the fuck up. But should YouTube or Twitter be able to ban scientifically incorrect information? Yes. Biology is a function of national security. National security is a function of biological health and safety. Now, how do you determine an expert? How do you determine a correct piece of research? What is healthy dissent? Healthy dissent in scientific discourse is always good, but our maturity level at this species is disgustingly absent, provable everywhere, any context, anything. And so, the reason I say I was a student once, right? I was a student with a lot of special sauce for sure, but I learned these things. And so, like I said, I think Sean Carroll didn't really have much to say about just because they're popular, borderline celebrities in the science field. But how many scientist celebrities are there? I name the scientists you know. Neil deGrasse Tyson, David Attenborough, Michiko Kaku, Brian Greene, Sean Carroll, and Eric Weinstein tried to do some math. But my point is on the intelligence jumps in science in general. Let me make sure I'm still rolling first. And again, I am not trying to be arrogant, I'm not trying to be rude, but if you can grade Tolstoy's work, like every logical thought that human being had during his life, and say these are all of the wrong words, that's a big jump. So I have, what do you do? I have an expertise stamp, but how about other people? Really, it doesn't matter. There's one sentiment. If you speak the correct words, if you develop a proof, the proof speaks for itself. So, again, how do you determine what information is directly violating? Let's just use the COVID example. The argument of some scientists is, right, they got banned for saying, I think Brett Weinstein got banned for talking about this thing as maybe being a treatment or something, don't even care. I don't even know was it a lab leak? Did the virus leak out of a lab, or was it a jump from a animal? Scientifically, it doesn't fucking matter. If someone intentionally started a pandemic, slaughter every single person involved today, right now. If that's not the case, it is what it is. We're at this place. What scientific value is it to say, here's for sure where it came from? Or you might have, like I said, it's like a fact, right? It was sunny today. People in 100 years don't give a fuck if it was sunny today. And so, if you see the focus of a scientist, right? Eric Weinstein talking about Ed Whitten can have these big jumps. I can derive anything all of the time, always. Ed Whitten publishes a paper, revolutionizes, and then stops doing science. Or I don't say stops doing science, I don't fucking know, I don't follow academics. But the level of derivation and proofing is, like I said, I don't know. There's genuine levels before this that other people are definitely not at. But you would be able to do something. Like I said, Albert Einstein's Albert Einstein. He wasn't a severe intelligence jump. But overall, for peer review, do I think, could I give a categorical statement about peer review being good or bad? No. I could argue both, saying, the YouTube, Twitter side, archive, don't spread fraudulent, shitty scientific information. You could easily say, well, how do you figure out what's the right scientific information when you're actually trying to figure out the evidence and no maliciousness is involved? Get really personal credentials. So peer review, like I said, could be good or bad. I would say with credentials, bad most of the time. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, censoring, I don't even say censoring, removing incompetent information. I agree with. How do you determine that? Open question, open for debate, not from Eric Weinstein. Fuck you, Eric. And that's about all I want to say for the scientific method. And that's what I got for Feelin' Cute Mike Conjecture. Thanks for watching.